I get a phone call, him telling me that he got into an accident.
I said, you got to choose me or him. And I said, I know you're going to probably choose your husband. And she said, well, you know, you got to go.
So you really believe that you moving in with your grandmother came as a result of your mother choosing her new husband over you?
She'll choose sides with him. And then when I tell her about it, she'll be like, well, it's not the case. But that's how I feel.
Do you think that it's possible for you all to have a good relationship with your stepfather?
I just want to be loved, that's all.
What were the circumstances of he taking it?
Well, I wasn't feeling well. Prior to all of that, he had been wanting to get his license. He was 17 at the time. I didn't feel comfortable with him, you know, ready to get a driver's license. And so he would just like really harass me a lot about taking the vehicle. And I was like, you're not going to take the vehicle. You're not covered. You don't have a license. But, you know, I love my son and I kind of have a tendency to give in to him when he like really presses me. I wasn't feeling well that day. He took the vehicle. The next thing I know, I get a phone call, him telling me that he got into an accident.
All right. Do you have any evidence with you in terms
Yes,
of that
ma'am.
cause?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you give that to Damon so I can see it? Now, I understand you all are originally from New Orleans, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You notice how I said New Orleans?
Yeah.
I didn't say New Orleans. It's because that's one of my hometowns. So this comes from the body shop, and it shows everything that was done in the amount of $1,300. All
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
Okay, John?
Yes, Your Honor.
What you have to say about this?
Well, ma'am, the truth is she did give me permission. She was very sick. You know, she told me, can you go give me some medicine? And yes, you know, I was, you know.
Now, you didn't have a license at that time?
No, ma'am. You know, I just felt the need. I said, let me just go get you some medicine. You know, you don't look good. She had a high fever.
So you go out and then you got in the wreck?
No, it didn't exactly happen like that. I went to the store to get some, and then on my way back, you know, I stopped at my cousin's house, and then I left.
Now, wait, why you had to stop by your cousin's house if your mama's so sick and you going to get her some medication? So you made a little stop.
Well, yeah, it was right. It was I did, Yana, and she was right there. So, well, as I was leaving, she asked me where I was at, and I said, well, I'm leaving. You know, my cousin's house. She was like, well, I'm hungry. Can you give me some chicken? And I said, that's no problem. So I know, you know, I went there and I know how she like her chicken hot out the grease or else.
Okay.
So that took extra 10, 15.
It's a New Orleans thing. When it comes to food, you
like
want
it.
your food the way you want it. Go
So
ahead.
that took an extra 10 to 15 minutes right there. So she called me again worried, and I said, look, I just left. I said, I got your hot, white mixed chicken and your biscuits the way you want it. So I got it steaming on the car.
Okay.
So then I guess in my mind, I said, let me just hurry me get home. I paused because I see another car coming in the opposite direction. She goes straight, and she hits me on the side.
Well, you know, let me tell you, because I know that you're suing him for taking the car, and he didn't have a license. But what I really want to get to is there's a lot going on
Yes.
in the family.
Yes.
Because this is family court.
Yes.
Okay? And so I don't want all the details of the accident because the lady who was involved in the accident with you is not here to give her part of it. It is the broader issue that's going on. So, John, let me let you come up and tell us what's happening with the young men. What kind of relationship you have with them and what's happening?
I don't really have too many problems with them. The problem I have is the way they disrespect their moms, because I can handle them because I have 3 boys myself.
Okay.
And they're very disrespectful to her. And by me interfering, they turn all the blame and everything that goes on between them and their mom on me. You know?
So you're just really jumping in to stick up for your wife.
Exactly, and I'm like the man in the middle,
I
so to
understand.
speak.
Well, in a blended family, sometimes it's like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they're used to dealing with their mother, and then the man comes from the outside. But you all have been through a lot because you went through Katrina, right?
Yes, we
That's
did.
right.
Now, how was that?
What happened, Your Honor, was that I had just completed nursing school, and they had asked if myself as a nurse can go on the bus to bring the residents to safe or higher ground, which we went towards Mississippi, where the hurricane actually hit. So I told him, I said, well, I'm not going without my family. So my husband and my 4 boys, I have 4 boys, we headed towards Mississippi, and they were at a hotel, and I was at the school taking care of the patients.
So your husband and the kids were going
We're at the hotel.
But you were still taking care. How is that
That
for
wasn't. I'm gonna tell you because since he's from Detroit, he never experienced no hurricane, so he was more of a nervous wreck than my brothers was.
So y'all were actually in Mississippi when that storm
Yes,
hit?
we actually
Exactly.
saw the houses coming
You
apart,
saw
flying
that?
in the
You know,
air.
I saw a tornado.
See, this is a
So-
lot. You back home?
Yes,
We've
ma'am.
been back home
We've
for
been
about
back
a
home
year.
and a
How's
half.
your house?
It's
coming along.
It's coming along very slow.
You know, it's amazing how people are thinking you're supposed to be able to go on with your life.
Right.
That is going to have an impact on a family. Brandon, you come on up. We're going to get you in this. Now, let me tell you why we're getting into all of this. Because when you're suing your 18-year-old for $1,300, and your husband has said that they are disrespectful to you. Brandon, you're how old?
I'm 15, Yana.
All right. What is going on in the house?
Like after Katrina, we lost a lot of family members, and our whole personality changed. Everybody was, angry, and I'll try to come talk to my mom about it, and she won't listen. So
Why
I
do
feel,
you think she won't listen?
because every time I go to her about something, it's always a blow off, or she's busy, or she's at work, or she's tired. So I feel like I don't get the attention I need.
So have you shared this with your mother, or are you just
I
saying
tried.
this to me?
I tried, but it doesn't get through.
John, what about you?
When they get into it, I'll jump in, because I can't deal with that. That's when I was standing. I'm not standing no more. But
Where you staying now?
I stay with my grandmother, and I got, I guess you can call it kicked out. She said she kicked me out because I was disrespecting her. But I asked her one question before, I kicked. I said, it's between. I said, you got to choose me or him. And I said, I know you're gonna probably choose your husband. And she said, well, you got to go. So, I had
Yeah,
to miss
that's
school.
not true.
And I left. And I left like she told me, whenever you feel like you're a man, leave. And I left.
So
I was
you
under
really believe that you moving in with your grandmother came as a result of your mother choosing her new husband over you?
I was miserable up in that house, and I felt like
Why were you miserable, sweetheart?
Well, it hasn't been the happiest thing since day one. She never came to us. She just divorced my dad. We wasn't fully recovered from that. She should have came to us, talked to us. I guess she was so hurt, and she just wanted to jump into a relationship. And we here for a reason.
You can already tell that there's a lot of hurt in this family. The kids truly are hurt from their mother remarrying someone that's not their dad.
I feel like sometimes she'll, choose sides with him, and then when I tell her about it, she'll be like, well, it's not the case. But that's how I feel. How can you change the way somebody feel? That's the same thing with her. I can't change the way she feel,
What you want, John? What you want? What would you
Well, I
like
mean-
the judge to help you do?
Well, I just want to get it through my mama's head that she has 4 boys that love her and that need her. I'm 18, but I still need her. I'm going to need her till I'm 90. And the bottom line is, one of us is not going to be here one day. This is real life. She might be gone before me. I might be gone for her. That's it. So,
Yeah, come back. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. You have a lot of hurt inside of you.
ma'am, I do. And I share this with my mom, and then we'll be okay for a minute. But then, then we'll get right back into it again. And I don't know why.
What do you want?
Peace between us. That's all I want. Just to have a good relationship until
With your mother and with your stepfather?
Yeah, until the last days, until we here.
I can make this happen now. Because a part of it is everybody just getting it out.
I might act different in front of them, but they don't know what's behind closed doors.
Well, that's why we opening up the door.
Yeah,
want them
I
to
didn't know I was
hear
gonna get emotional. It just came out, and I didn't know I was gonna get emotional like that. I really thought I was gonna just really not say nothing, but
no.
but it just all came out.
I'm glad you felt safe enough with me to tell the truth, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So you go back. Let me hear from Brandon. Brandon, you want to say anything else before I talk to your parents?
I was hurt too because, it's my dad. If my mom loves him, I love him. I want to see her happy, but I don't want to see her struggling. I don't want to see her always depressed, always crying,
Do you think that it's possible for you all to have a good relationship with your stepfather?
Yeah, it just has to be a few changes. We just can't.
Okay, what kind of changes?
You know how they say you don't supposed to argue in front of your kids or whatever. That plays a toll on them as they grow up.
So you would prefer that when they have
I
their
prefer that when they have their
arguments,
little
that they don't do it in front
disagreements,
of
they
y'all.
go in the
Okay.
room. They go outside. Don't do it in front of my 3 brothers.
I feel like I don't have nowhere to settle down at, It's just that
Son, everybody got to feel safe.
I go to school. I have a job,
You have a job and
Yeah.
you're 15?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing in school?
Nice A's and B's.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying
So
to...
what do you want? I asked John what did he want. He says he want peace. What do you want?
Same thing. Everybody wants peace. Why not?
Why don't you tell me your perspective with
Peace is really, really important when it comes to children in a household. I grew up in a very chaotic household, and I knew that it took an effect on us. I just wanted peace as well. That's super important for kids.
regard to your children?
Okay, first of all, Yana, I love my boys, and they know that. I understand that they've been hurt from their father and I getting a divorce. That was 8 years ago. I came from a broken home.
Yeah.
But I always respected my mother, and I respected my mother's husband.
Do you think your children are not respecting your husband?
I think that my children wish that I was with their dad. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, no, but that's natural because when you get divorced, you want things to stay the same.
Right.
So you're not very different from most people. But what's happening is I have no respect on this side, and then you all are saying there's no respect. So what I'm trying to figure out is how do we get the family back together where they can be respected?
Before I was married to my husband now, I spoiled them. I let them have their way. I let them do what they want to do. When he came into my life, it was rules. I try to get close with Brandon. When I do, he's so angry. It's like
pull back.
He pulls away from me. I'll say, Brandon, let's go take her. I don't feel like doing that. I want to play the game.
Obviously, I'm going to send you all to some counseling
Thank you.
because you have layers and layers of issues.
Yes.
You've got one son saying you chose your husband over him. Then you've got your 15-year-old saying he can't talk to you. Brandon, talk to your mother. You move over here. Now look at your mother in the eyes and you tell her what it is you want to tell her, sweetheart.
I feel that there's not enough love going on in the house, So, I don't know.
I do love Can I go hug him?
Go hug your child.
I
honey.
do love you. I love both of y'all. You know that. I'm in the middle, Yana. I'm in the middle.
I know. Brandon, come here, honey.
And
Come over here, baby.
That's really tough.
You all right, baby?
Really tough.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you crying? Tell Judge.
I just want to be loved. That's all.
Look at me. Your mama loves you, sweetheart. You don't think your mama loves you?
I know she does.
You just want to feel loved. And you're not feeling loved?
No, I don't think so.
It's going to be all right. Because coming here was the best thing you could have ever done. You think?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. All right. Go ahead. What comes out as anger is really everybody's need to want to feel loved. They just really are crying out in many ways, and being disrespectful sometimes is a way that they're crying out. If I did not think this could be repaired, I would have stopped this case a long time ago. In my heart, and you take this from Judge now, because I have seen it all, baby. I know that with a little bit of counseling, you all can get this thing worked out. All you want to do, John, even though you're grown now or almost grown, you still want to be loved. You want your mama to love you. And even if he's never going to be your father, you want both a respectful situation. Because, see, what happened was he, by being the oldest, had become almost like the man in the
I
house.
understand that.
When you came, he saw that as a threat, even though.
Yeah.
And even with the divorce, they felt like they didn't know enough about what was going on. Promise me that you all are willing to go to counseling.
of course.
You want to go, John?
I mean, I want to go, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm gonna still have some anger on one side of my heart, but I'm gonna be humble on the other side.
Well, son, let me tell you, anger is a real emotion. And I think that because you came here and you let it all out today, that was the best thing that could ever happen to you. You're going to feel like the weight of the world is off of you because you got it off of your chest. We got to bring this entire family back together. I want to be able to do that. We can do that if we send you to counseling. So what I'm going to do is you came here today because you were suing your son, John, who's 18 years old, for damages to the vehicle. I believe that you had the car, it wasn't under the insurance, and you went outside of where she told you to go. She told you to go to the store, get the medicine, go get our hot fried chicken, and then you went over there to your cousin's house. So you went outside of where you were supposed to go. So I am going to fine in your favor for $1,300. If you could trust me, John,
I will, man.
I believe that this could work out. Brandon, you think you could trust Judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there's a reason why you ended up getting a judge who was raised in New Orleans. Don't you think?
Yes.
I think it can work out, okay? I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,300. And on top of that, we're going to get you all, everybody, including the other two brothers, into some family counseling, okay? Court stands adjourned.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That was getting me super emotional, just seeing this broken family. Like, they truly do love each other, and you can tell that they love each other, but they just had some sort of miscommunication and misunderstanding between each other, and they just want respect. And it seems like the stepfather, he wants to give that respect. He wants to have that peace, and I think they're capable of doing that. It's just so beautiful. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.